Do you want to make sure that every guest who enters your salon is at least offered retail and to make sure your staff is doing it every single time? Well, watch this video to find out some easy ways to make that happen. Hey, it's Jason Everett with highperformancesalon.com. And this is a question I get almost every single day is, Jason, how do I get my team to sell more retail? And there's two very common mistakes that people make when they're trying to get people to sell more retail is they remind them, meaning every day. You remind them in a team meeting, you tell them in your staff meetings once a month, you put a sign in the back room, you put a sign underneath the desk, you slide the retail over, you remind. And then the other thing that a lot of salon owners make this mistake is they start bribing people, right? They do a retail contest and they bribe you, but that bribe only works for so long. And so if the reminder doesn't work and the bribe doesn't work, well, what do you need to do? So there's actually 3 tips I want to give you to make sure you can get your staff to sell retail every single time. So tip number 1 is you want it to be expected, or you want them to expect it, meaning that it should be an expected part of the service. So when they sit down to actually have a consultation with every guest that sits down, they should say, hey, I'm going to ask you some questions about your hair, find out about what you need, and then make some recommendations for you at the end of your visit today. Expectation number 1. Then, as it's expected of the service provider, think about this way, is that you would expect that the service provider would do the shampoo, that they would provide the haircut or provide the color or whatever other treatment they're doing, or that they leave, they're going to blow dry their hair or collect their payment before they walk out the door. It's an expected part of the job. So why is offering retail not an expected part of it? So make sure that you work that in to everything that you do inside there and actually expect it from the service provider, which leads me to point number 2 is you've got to train it. So number 1 is expect it. Number 2 is train it, meaning make sure that's part of your regular training system. If you have an associate program, you probably teach them how to cut hair. You probably teach them how to color. You probably even you show them how to greet the guest, but do you show them how to properly prescribe and offer up retail as a part of the consultation experience? So it doesn't go from this awkward trying to sell you, but it just comes from a place of I'm here to serve you by making recommendations during your service. So number 1, you got to make sure they expect it. Number 2, you got to make sure that you train them on it. And then number 3, you've got to compensate them appropriately for it. Now, I know I said don't bribe, and I don't mean that you should be bribing with a gimmick every single month, but you should train them to actually have that a part of their compensation and show them what it would look like if they actually sold more retail. To say, hey, I want to help you grow. If your retail went up to here, we'd be able to compensate you even more and you'll take home more income. Now, some of the salons in our High Performance Salon Academy actually have a retail expectation that 30% of their retail to service dollars needs to be in retail for them to even qualify for their bonus. Now, that might be shocking to you. You might go, Jason, nobody would ever do that. We'd never sell that high retail, but why? It's because, again, you don't expect it. You don't train it. You don't compensate it in a way that makes sure that that is the expectation known across the salon. So make sure that you use those 3 tips to make sure that you grow your retail sales inside your salon. And if you like this video and you want more tips like it, do me a favor, find our Profitable Salon Owner group right here on Facebook, or you can head over to our YouTube channel, which you might be watching me here on YouTube. And that way you can make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit the bell to get notifications every time we post another video like this. And I can't wait to see your salon grow.